Hello everyone, this is Foxhound coming back again with another video. Today I'm going to do something slightly different. You mentioned you wanted me to do a tier list, an updated tier list of carriers, and I figured might as well do a review of carriers and assault carriers in the game. This is just a test of a video. If I see that you guys like it, I'll continue on it. That's why I'm picking the first carrier over here, which is something that you can get with dollars. It is the RF Atark Ulyanovsk. I hope I didn't butcher the name. So this thing has 3 missiles, has 2 grenade launchers over here, yeah, which is very good. You also have 1 strike fighter and 1 drone. That's the thing. You don't have a lot of planes. You don't even have a fighter with this one. So, well, you have a strike fighter and a drone over here. Same, you only have 1 helicopter. But what is lacking on the air defense, in the air, it's pretty much covering a little bit on the defense side of things. You have an auto cannon, a total of 5 of them, and you have a total of 8 air defenses which you can put on one. It's interesting because if you put air Alcas over here, let's see what it's going to be. It's going to be like a lot of lights going on over here, and this pretty much means that submarines cannot do anything against us. So that's why we're using HQL26 to try to mitigate a little bit that less amount of fighters that we have. And regarding this grenade launcher, I like it just because you don't need. Sometimes when you are not maneuvering your carrier, when you are using your planes, this will fire automatically to whatever is coming in front. So that's something that I like because I like to focus on my planes. So let's see how we're going to do over here. Yutiang, I am considering if I am going to use this or Quaker. Maybe I should just use Quaker if I'm honest. Not try to be too fancy about it. Or let's try Disable Warrior. Let's go with Saber Warrior. It's tricky because the drone is going to be the one that opens the map for you because you don't have a you do not have a fighter. Let's see if we can do well with this carrier over here. I'm going to do a total of 2 to 4 matches because first of all, I have not used these carriers in quite some time, so it may take some time to adjust, and we also need to give it a fair advantage. So if it doesn't do well in the first matches, well, hopefully maybe we'll do better in the last ones. So let's try the first one, just in case this carrier is fairly slow. Maneuverability is not the best, so of course what is expected, this is one of the first carriers that you can get in the game, so yes, that's why it is what it is. So we are going to pretty much reverse over here as much as possible, and we are going to launch our drone, and we are going to launch a strike fighter. Because we're going to have problems on the mobility, we're going to rely a little bit more on the side of opening the map to make sure that our allies are going to do well. I see that the strike fighter is on the way, so I'm going to continue my assault with that one. Oh, look at that time I was attacking the storm, right? Bear in mind when you're using the Hellcat, try to. Well, we have done our mission. Let's first of all put our carrier into a safe area. Again, mobility is one of the downsides of this carrier. So we just need to try to survive this, and we should be fine, and we are not fine. Yes, that is unfortunate because we were doing fantastic over there, but at least I was able to take out the carrier on the other side. As we move along, as we wait over here on the end of the match, again, this is one of the downsides of the carrier, as you're seeing over here. It is slow and the maneuverability is not the best. So you really need to try to cover as much as possible, and that depends on the map. So if you are in a bad position such as this one, you put yourself in a position when you either don't open the map and position yourself, and you risk your team to start dying, or you risk yourself to, and if you decide to open the map, your allies may live, but you may die because they're going to target you. Let me know in the comments if you like me. Maybe I'm going to consider just passing on the matches and then just going into the next one so we can continue on this. All right, so I'm going to stop this match right here. Okay, so we have seen the main disadvantage of this carrier, obviously the speed, yeah. But let's see if we are able to do best in this one. Remember, with this one, the priority is to hide, use speed ups with this one. But we did fairly well. I mean, we were doing a good of damage. If I didn't die over there because of that one ship, I'm sure we had a very good fight. But let's see how we do over here. We are dealing with another. Well, that's another kind of indirect advantage, you could say, about this one. That because you are using a carrier that is very kind of free to play, then you are going to be facing free to play players, kind of. I see that my Hellcat is engaging in combat, but it's going to die soon. But I guess I'm just going to continue my assault over here because taking out that carrier is very important. And my Hellcat was very smart enough to come back, which is very good. So let's continue our assault on this wonderful carrier. I also need to activate my premium equipment over here. I'm really hoping that the one that is targeting me is the carrier. That's why I don't want to stop my attack, but maybe I should. Yeah, that is again unfortunate. Second time, again, we died because of the same situation. You really need to make sure that you hide this carrier because if not, it's going to go down. This is why, again, as I mentioned, it requires you some time to adjust on the carriers. Yeah. So we are going to try a third match. Okay, third match. You're seeing a tent over here, right? You need to hide your carrier or you're going to die pretty much. And this is by all means not the best map ever. And our position is awful as well. So this time around, instead of opening the map, I am actually going to take the time to hide because they're going to come and get me. They're going to come back with my blood over here. So let's see. Okay, we are doing well. Right. I'm also going to take this route over here. That will put me in a safe position. Now we can start launching our planes. Let's see what we are dealing with over here. We're going to come back and start using our strike fighter because I saw that it was coming. We need to refresh it because we can do that because this map is actually fairly small. So yeah, we can afford to do this. Attacking on the Zumwalt. Once our carrier is in a good spot, we can now afford ourselves to focus on the air. Maybe I should take out this one over here. Spread the damage a little bit. Okay, we took the first victim. Again, this map is very small, so I can afford to recharge. So that's what I'm going to do. I have low points over there, so I'm going to focus on this one instead. All right. Okay, so we took another one. Let's try to recharge the Hellcat if we can. By now we have done our objective. We have done good amount of damage. People have died. So now it's just a matter of wrapping up, which is very good. I like this third match again, so special attention on keeping your carrier safe and then you are good to go. Let's try to find the other carrier. It's right here, RF Storm. So again, because this is a free-to-play carrier, we are going to be facing almost kind of free-to-play people. This is going to be a win. I like to have two more matches because the first matches were not so representative. Yeah, that happened. And now the only thing to remain is to use your helicopter to take out the submarine. Remember, in this case, we are not using the helicopter straight up to defend ourselves. Rather, we are only going to take it out when it's time to deal with the submarine. I think that's the best way. But yeah, let's do that. After this, maybe I wonder if I should do another couple of matches using this without commentary. Make it focused. Or I hope that you enjoy this commentary overall. There goes the submarine, and that was a win. 1,500 damage. That's actually pretty good for these 3 destructions. And that is proving that it's always good to play things again after quite some time because you think, oh, I'm actually able to do this damage with this type of carrier, and yes, it is possible. Let's see how we are doing with the Civil Warrior. Of course, Hellcat did the most damage. And these are the statistics. So let's bring the third match over here. Alright, third match. And we have an open map over here. Let's see if we're going to have a submarine. We do not. But I'm still going to choose to reverse as the main strategy over here. So this time around, I am actually going to take the time to position with my carrier because that seems to be the main downfall of the carrier. Also, my team was able to handle the air, so that is very good. In this case, I'm going to keep using the drone until I see my Hellcat getting towards targets. If not, I'll continue just using it. We're going to start attacking this Massachusetts. After I hit this, I'm going to start heading back, maybe. Because my Hellcat decided not to come. I could consider doing a chain of attacks, but remember, this particular drone is not for that. It is for opening the map. So I need to keep it as alive as possible, let's put it this way. We already have our lovely battleship dead. Because why not, right? 2 people dead already. So that is just terrible. But we are going to try our best, right? Here comes the third one. Everyone fell off. Yeah, my team is not the best. But we are going to retrieve on that. And now it's time to deal with us using the Sable Warrior. Let's take care of that Enterprise. So that way we're able to pretty much defend ourselves. They had 2 carriers with them, so that is very unfortunate. So we are going to start defending ourselves a little bit. Let's start going. In this particular case, yes, team started to die very quickly. But let's see if we can give a good fight, right? And that was defeat. But oh well, we tried our best. So this is a definite loss, but we did the most damage. And let's start with the last match, and then I'm going to tell you my thoughts about this carry. Alright, fourth and final match. And we are going to see how we do in this one over here. Okay, let's see. So we have one win, one loss, another two matches that we don't know what happened. Because, of course, we were killed early. We decided to open the map instead of attacking, instead of hiding the carrier. So that's already a disadvantage, if you can tell, right? Let's start going with the Civil Warrior again. In this time around, we do not have any carriers on the enemy team. And a lot of people entering and leaving the match. I don't know what's that. Missouri is going to be your main target because it's isolated on the right side. So that's going to be your target. I'm going to choose to retreat from the... Let's see, we have so many targets going on over here. Let's choose the Jack. That's the thing. Right now, everyone is not so far away between them, so makes it slightly difficult to hit on the missiles. So in this time around, we have to wait for them to start coming closer. Hellcat, because after the update, remember you need to launch all your missiles at once to be able to have a chance to penetrate more on the defenses. So keep that in mind. We are going to choose to send our strike fighter back. And now it is time to kill, yeah, the stragglers over here. There is one swordfish. Remember, as a carrier, you need to secure the kills because you don't want your team to focus too much or to stress yourself too much on what's going on. I see that my Hellcat got already established, so what I'm going to do is send my drone back, go out with the carrier, and now we are going to focus on taking out the ships that are close to our allies to defend them as much as possible. We lost one plane, that's unfortunate. Oh, we need to keep this Hellcat alive as much as possible. That's good, okay. Let's continue our assault. And it seems this is going to be a loss as well. Okay, it's going to be a 2 versus 2, or I think a 1 versus 2, because unless my ally is smart enough to run, and it's not going to be smart enough to run, then this is going to be more 2 versus 1. But unfortunately, I do not have enough air, let's put it this way, to do enough damage to survive this. But we're going to try our best, of course. Yeah, it won't be possible. I don't have enough. I don't have enough air in order to fend off this attack. And that is going to be game, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's see the final statistics over here. Let's see. Yeah, we did a couple of damage, okay, with the launcher. but not that it matters. So that is pretty much the end of the match. Foxhound, what happened? You're going to tell me. Yeah, remember these are online matches. So let's see how we did with the statistics over here. Remember, I am to some extent sacrificing my beautiful stats for these demonstrations. So remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for this because usually this is what it looks like. And now I'm sacrificing myself for your entertainment. So please leave a like or my punishment. So we have, I think, only one victory, two draws, and we don't know what happened with them. I think, let's see. Yeah, we don't know what happened with them because I decided to go out before. Doesn't count because we were killed, so I consider that already a defeat. What are my thoughts about this wonderful carrier, Sally? I will not recommend it, even if, I mean, you are starting your game with carriers. I will say it's not the best option because you don't have enough air, you don't have enough mobility to hide. And as much as I love this carrier, of course, when you start on the game, I understand that in the lower leagues, you may be able to do things, but I think you can save the dollars for something else, which I suspect is going to be a Storm or some other carrier that we are going to discuss over here. So, based on that, I'm going to give this one a tier of, let me see how many tiers I have. S, A, B, C, and D. It will be in the D tier. I don't know if I should include an F tier even. You can do things, but sadly, in this meta, you need to be able to open the map consistently in order to keep your allies alive. You need to be able to hide if you are a carrier and you don't have enough firepower to keep your allies alive. Again, because you have to assume that your allies are not the best, and you always have to assume that as a carrier. Assume that your allies, your teammates do not play well. That's just the way that it is. It's not like they are bad, but assume so. So you have to rely that you have to do well in order to win that match. And you have to help them, of course, to survive as much as possible. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. This is Foxhound signing off. Have a good day, everyone.